Hi, my name is Dr. Dharm Sidhu. I'm a naturopathic doctor in Vancouver, and this is my friend.
I'm Adrienne. I'm a naturopathic doctor in Nova Scotia, Canada.
And we are approaching the Christmas holiday, so this topic seems relevant somehow. Yesterday we were speaking about, and I've forgotten what
False beliefs. What some of the things we've learned about false beliefs.
Thank you. And in it, you mentioned something about God's love, God's definition of love,
Yeah.
which I know you're very passionate about, and I figure we can do a talk about it. Because basically, what I've learned is that God is very particular about love, and that basically the spheres we're in, like 1 to 7, is about correcting our definition of love to be in harmony with God's definition of love, and that when we earn penalty uh, consequences, it's because we broke the law of love towards ourselves, others, and the environment. And penalties include health issues. Like sometimes I just think about it from a way of saying, well, what law of love and truth am I breaking right now towards myself or others that's causing health issues? That's one way I'm too much in my head. I enjoy this stuff. So I thought I knew what love was. And so far I'm discovering that everything I knew love was is wrong. And that my journey now is to take each of those and bring them into harmony with God's perspective. So it's been shocking for me to realize just how wrong I am. And the more I do it, we were just speaking about how holidays can be, for some of us, a very lonely time because nobody wanders around because we are not in harmony with how people perceive love. As you start to wake up to this, then you kind of like a little more isolated from most people because you're no longer in harmony and they can feel it, right? Like even if you don't say it. So anyway, what has your journey been on discovering that this is about love, capital L love?
Yeah. Like I could probably talk for a long time about the journey, but I guess I'll try to summarize it. But I started to wake up to my life, the things that were happening in my life around me, particularly in my relationships, romantic relationships or friendships or family dynamics. And I was hit really hard with this awakening to like none of this. I wasn't using the word love at the time because I
Mhm.
didn't even know enough about love at the
Yeah.
time to even use that word. But what I could see happening around me, and not just in my relationships, but in other people's relationships and other dynamics, I was like, we're all just using each other.
Thank you.
That's
Okay.
that I was like, I'm just using people to feel better or to have fun or to be, to do something. And that person's just using me whenever they feel whatever lonely, they're calling me. And that person's just using that person. And it was really loud to me that, and
Wow.
waking up to that, like, and I was like, we're just all using each other. None of this is even real. Like we're all, and that was like really painful for me to wake up to, and I cried for like a long time. Dharm knows I'd cried for like 2.5 years just about that. And
Ooh.
and as I was like waking up and seeing this and how much it hurt, I started to realize that this is what I've been doing my whole life, and I don't even know what would be different, how it could be different. And I was searching and seeking of like, what relationship is not doing this?
Yeah.
Where is this not happening?
Yeah.
Essentially this codependency. Again, I didn't even have that word back then,
Hmm.
but where is this not happening? And I was looking and looking and trying to find the answer to that. And that was very gutting in and of itself because I felt like I really couldn't even find the answer to that. I couldn't even, when I was looking towards spiritual teachers and gurus and, you know, very famous people who say that they know a lot, wise people. I could even see it in what they were saying and the dynamics that I could watch them in, that that's not real either. Like,
Wow.
and I really felt like I hit this rock bottom of like, what is even real? And again, I wasn't even using the word love at the time. It was
Yeah.
more, what is even real? And it wasn't until I was introduced to the concept of God being a personal being that I can connect to, and that God created love, God created everything, and that is the person I can learn about love from. Like that is the person that can teach me what is real. Um, and something really changed inside of me and changed in my kind of trajectory because I really felt I was in a lot of despair about
Yeah.
not being able to find the answer to this anywhere.
Yes.
And then yeah, and then learning that okay, there God does know what love is. God has a definition of love, and our definition, the world's definition of
Yeah.
love, my definition of love is not even anywhere
No.
close to God's definitions of love in
No.
most cases. So it was quite a journey for me. And now that's why I feel so excited about it because I'm like, I just want to learn about love now. Like, I want
Okay.
to eradicate all the false ideas I have about love. And I want to learn about God, how God loves, and do that.
Wow. Okay. The the journey of that pain and despair that cracked you open, which again you were willing to go through it, um, that I find those phases are important. We are going to go through some pretty dark times
Yeah.
to kind of clear the space. And then what really spoke to you was this is not real. We're
Yeah.
using each other. Something about this isn't real. And it hurt that it wasn't real. And you're willing to no longer um, live in the lie about it, live in the
Yeah.
story about it.
Yeah.
And then you were also, again, we all then start looking for answers. Who knows the answer?
Yeah.
And then came to this, I feel like our guides, this is where our guides probably really like helping us here. But it was like, um, and when I speak of guides, it's like some spirit friends can try to like, oh, we'll tell you what love is. But our guides will say, no, we're not going to tell you what love is because we want you to have a relationship with God,
Yeah.
who
We
is
want you
you.
to find it. We'll help you find it.
And we want to encourage you to stay in the question and have the best relationship you could ever have. So by not filling it up, and also be kind of going, you know who has the answers? God. So the kind of I love guides. I'm always watching what's happening there. I'm making all kind of wrong guesses, but I'm fascinated. And then it's like your choice of saying, well, I can learn about love from God. That's going to be my trajectory. And now you're happy, you're passionate. It's like almost like it may hurt a little bit, but you don't really care if nobody else wants this. You want it. You're willing to go at it alone. So
Yeah.
that's the big difference of when you go through a painful experience and then something in you wake up and now you're filling yourself with this passion and desire on this journey. So despairs are worth going through.
Yes. Yeah. I thought it was going to kill me. I thought I was going to die from the pain of it all. But
Yeah.
now I look back and I wouldn't change a thing about that
Wow.
process, about that journey.
Okay. A
Um,
big encouragement that by the
yeah.
end of it, you release a lot of false stories, which kind of make you detach even more from the world's perspective. But
Yeah.
then there's something inside that is so satisfying.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. And now you're giving, you're not seeking love, you're giving what you're learning, you're sharing. Look what
Yeah.
I find out. And yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I haven't learned all the definitions of God's definitions of love, but I endeavor to see where I am still not loving the way that God
Thank God.
loves. Like, and yeah.
Ooh, I see it
And
as a,
but the difference between like now versus back then in the pain of it all, like now I get excited almost to find where I'm out of line. And
Oh,
like, and
oh,
even though it's painful and icky feeling, and but like there's a part of me that welcomes it, of like, I want to know this so I can
wow.
stop being so shitty, essentially. Like,
Wow. I,
and so the pain, it is painful, but it's a different type of pain now because I know that there's a point to it.
okay.
It
Okay.
there's yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You have a passionate desire to know everything about yourself now and to discover them all.
yeah.
And
Or getting close to that. I don't, again, I'm not perfect at that yet, but
right, I mean, we can see it. I can see it and feel it. And for me, I'm still at the oh God, what have I done this time? Oh, how bad is this one gonna be? And to discover the pain I've caused. It's like I'm actually on the journey of God, can you teach me how to come to terms? What does it mean? How can I be more accepting? Because then I'll go quicker.
mhm.
Like how can
Yeah,
I then um and get encouragement? I'll actually stop when I'm like, okay, show me the pain I've caused. And I'm like, oh God, okay, no, hold on. I have to like remind myself of some things and then go, okay, now that I won't go into self-punishment, self-loathing, self-judgment, show me. There's a lot of work I'm developing there so that now the confidence is building that I can cope with this. And then again, the outcome of doing it is so great,
yeah.
so hopefully I'll get there. Not yet. And again, we can't cheat on the journey. We have to go through each of our
No, it's an educate. That's the other thing I really learned, is that like God wants to educate us in love. This is an education process, and so there's no way to skirt around
no.
learning these. Otherwise, we're just kind of cheating ourselves. Like it's like cheating on a math test. Really, we're just cheating ourselves. We
Yeah.
need to learn these things,
Yeah.
and and when I started to view it as it's an education process, like it's not a penalty, it's not a punishment. We're being corrected so we can be educated. Just feels so much more loving.
It the big piece that I've been working on for some time now is that God doesn't punish.
Yeah.
There's an intellectual concept, and then there's an emotional journey of God doesn't punish. As a child, I've absorbed the emotion and I've experienced punishment with the name of I'm doing this on behalf of God, all this kind of experiences I've had. So the child is like, I don't believe you. And then over and over and over, God doesn't punish. And it's probably only been about 2 or 3 weeks now where I'm like, God doesn't punish, right? Let's
Mhm.
jump into this. It's give what an experience you will have in engaging issues where you're like, God's not going to punish you. Let's go. So
Yeah.
there's a little bit of the excitement of like, that is not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm convinced now. I've seen and experienced enough. And then that trust I now have where I'm going, I like this being. Because we have to someone like you have to start again with God, going, so who is this being? Why do I want to have a relationship with this being? Why will I trust you? Why would I love you? Why would I want your love? We have to kind of start again.
Yeah.
Got a
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah. It's like starting in grade primary. Like we all thought we were in grade 12 with our education, but really we're not. And we need to start from learning our
Preschool.
ABCs
I
all
used to
over
call it
again.
preschool. I think
Yeah.
I'm about to get into kindergarten. It's halfway there. So what is love in our perspective? Do you
The
feel?
world's definition of love, our definition of love. Oh, ooh, it's like so many things that are so
Imagine from a baby that's born into a family, and
like,
then the family think they're loving the baby.
yeah.
What
Well,
what's
we think that love is comfort, like,
oh
com
yes.
comfort and
Hey,
somebody
don't
out
take that away.
of an emotion. So we think that,
Yes.
if you're feeling sad and having a cry right now, then the loving thing would to do would be to go, it's
Comfort.
okay. Like, don't be sad. There's lots of things to be happy about. Like, we think love is comfort. A big one that I've learned in the last few months is that we think love is praise.
Oh yeah. You're taking away all my good stuff.
You're,
Fine,
you're doing a
fine.
good job. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
Pride is not love. Love is love.
Okay. Okay.
We think that love is sacrificing
Oh yeah, no, that's
ourselves.
mine.
I think that's a big one. I think men and women have different, that shows up in potentially different ways in different gender roles in our society, but there's a
Yeah.
sacrifice that we need to make for love.
Yes.
Um, oh my God, like yeah,
So let's start with love is comfort. Why is that not God's definition
because
of what love
God
is?
built us to and designed us to be able to feel everything we need to feel. God built us as emotional beings, so and built us with the capacity to feel the full spectrum of, like, I think, supreme joy right down to despairing pain. We can feel all of that without it killing us, and He knows that. God knows that, but we don't know that.
And so when a
So
parent comfort a child,
right.
um, which is, I think I want to just clarify, if a child is, and especially babies, when they go into their grief, oof, people around them gets triggered. And if the parent can be aware and humble to it, we're not saying ignore the child. You can
No,
hold
no,
the
no.
child and be present, but that's different than comforting, which is taking them away from the emotion.
Yeah,
Okay, and then that
yeah,
will help develop a child's confidence that they can cope.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They're like, to me, when I grew up and what I experienced a lot was being comforted, was being taken out of an emotion.
Yes, yes,
It
yes,
wasn't just be somebody being present with me in my emotion.
yes. Okay.
Um, and some people might not have that experience, and they might have the gift of somebody just being there with them in an emotion, and that's beautiful. That is love.
Yes,
Loving that.
yes. Okay. Okay. Whew, I'm getting challenged right now. I'm feeling a big challenge. Because as a mother, I feel like I'm doing something unmotherly if I don't comfort my child.
Right? That's well, and
So,
that's there's some false beliefs.
yeah,
You're not a good
exactly.
mother if you don't comfort your child.
And from my experience, um, not only was I not comforted, I was cast aside. Love was withdrawn, anger was projected. So I'm trying to like not do that where you ignore somebody. Um, yeah, you banish them basically,
Yeah,
which isn't love either, and it's hard for a child to experience. And yet I wasn't allowed to process the experience
yeah.
because that means I'm saying the parent is bad. And then there's punishment from the parent for making the parent feel bad. So I think I'm coming down to we parents have addictions of not wanting to feel we're bad parents.
Oh yeah, yeah,
So that will drive this desire. And also the baby is triggering our grief because children are mirroring and reflecting back. So then we don't want to feel our sadness triggered by the child, and then we're shutting the child down. Okay. Okay. That that's making more sense. And then praise. Why love is praise. I would say, isn't that a way of helping the child build a sense of self? Isn't it a way for a child to have an assessment for what their skills and gifts are? Like, what's wrong with that?
well, if the child then comes to rely on the praise
Oh yeah,
from the adults around it, then they're only going to potentially do things that they feel like they're good at, or they're going to only do that action or engage in that activity in order to get the feedback of praise, especially if love isn't just present all the time. It's one thing if love was present
right.
all the time from the adults around them, but if that's the only or one of the few times that they actually get good feelings from mom or
Mm-hmm.
dad or whoever, then
Mm-hmm.
they're going to then use these activities that might have started out to be a desire or a real curiosity, but then they end up
Right.
using it to get something out of it
Okay.
instead of just the enjoyment of doing that activity.
And then there are going to be some activities where you're not getting approval or even disapproval,
You
and
might,
now you're
yeah,
not going to engage it.
yeah,
That's okay. Now I'm getting like, ooh, this one's really bad. This is
yeah,
causing a lot of trouble. I have a strong addiction for approval. And I mean, like, why is this addiction so bad? And why can't I just give it up? Like, why is it so, it's very addictive. Like I can feel the hit of it.
yeah.
And now that you're describing this, well, yeah, yeah.
And then
When
we don't do things out of the sake of love
no,
anymore. You know,
no,
we're doing it to get the approval, to get the praise, to
yeah,
get get those good feelings from
yeah,
somebody. So again, that's very out of harmony with God wants us to do things out of our desire, out of our loving desires, not to get something.
yes. Which will then help us become more ourselves, become
Yeah.
more of who we are. And in being who we are and expressing it, we get a lot of happiness.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there is love
Even
is,
if we don't get the feedback from the environment or the people around us,
yes,
that's good.
especially at this point, it'd probably be like a clue. If you're getting disapproval, you're probably doing the right thing, as long as you're not breaking God's laws of love
Yeah.
and how you treat other people. It's probably a good sign that you probably will encounter disapproval.
Oh
If
yeah.
you have an addiction for it, then it will work to kind of pull you back
Yeah.
into shutting it down.
Yeah.
Okay. We could even go as far as saying that parents' way of creating certain love is a way for them to then manipulate and control their children,
Yeah.
because that would be
Yeah.
one way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just talking about this with a group of about disappointment when we feel disappointment from a parent.
Right. Oh,
What that disappointment actually
yes.
is a angry type feedback from the parent to get us to do something that they want us to do. You know, if I decide not to go home for the holidays
Oh, yeah.
and visit my family, and my
Yes.
mother is extremely disappointed in me for not coming home for the holidays, well, what is that going to make me feel like I should do? I
Yeah.
should
Yeah.
go home for the holidays. It is a manipulation.
It is a manipulation. Which is this is where it gets difficult to confront in ourselves. Is seeing how much, as much as we're trying to be good parents, we're actually exploiting and manipulating and using our children.
And none of that is love. None
And
of it.
it is
Love cannot be present in that scenario. That's
no,
very confronting.
it's I have intellectually accepted that I may not have ever actually loved my children. I have, yeah, kind of accepting, like, if they ever come out and ask me, did you love us? I'll probably say, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was. So
I feel like I got to that place. I don't have children, so it's not going that's not going to be quite as devastating for me to get to, but I that was devastating to realize that I haven't loved anybody
yeah,
or anything or even myself my entire well, I was 36 at the time. For 36 years, I have never known what love is.
what love is.
Like,
And then from what I've learned, it is the breaking of the law of love that has a penalty, that causes pain, that
yeah,
we perceive as pain, because then if we're sensitive, we can say, oh, I think I've broken a law of love here. I need to become sensitive and correct it. Course
yeah,
correct.
yeah,
Basically, it's course correction. And what I'm
yeah,
learning from my guide is that I'm making mistakes in love, and I am just going, oh, that's been a mistake. I gotta correct this.
yeah.
To kind of like, that's all this is mostly.
It's not a
That's what
punishment.
this
It's
is.
just yeah, course correction. Like we're all,
Exactly.
yeah, you're in a really going the wrong direction.
Course correct.
And that direction's not, it's going to lead to more pain.
And the pain, at first I'm angry about the pain, going, why is there restriction and why am I having pain? And rah, 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 rah. But then when I feel the pain I am causing, I'm like, Holy, nope, nope, that, thank you. That I should have woken up to this sooner. This is much worse than I expected. It's I agree now with the restriction that comes. It's like, nope, it's true. I'm causing a lot of pain. This is not, no, I don't. Yeah. Once the courage is built to like help me feel the pain I'm causing, ooh, it's yeah. As well, but those that journey can help you to uncover the self-judgment, self-punishment, self-blame, because part of family relationship when we're learning to love is that children learn to blame themselves so that you can cope with what's going on in the family when they're unloving by calling it love.
Yeah. Yeah, we kids will say, well, I must have done something wrong, or I must have been a bad girl, or
Yeah.
yeah, there must be something wrong with me.
And now I'll act in self-punishing way to appease and get back the approval again. And then some of those self-punishing ways way we shut ourselves down,
Yeah.
our emotions and our nature.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is
Okay.
also, which is unloving.
Okay. What other examples do you have about, okay, so what is a definition of God's love you have lived?
Um,
An expression of God's love.
well, I've learned, like, and I'm still learning that love is a gift, and
Right.
love, like a true gift, doesn't require anything in return. We don't have to get, we don't have to do anything. We don't have to be a certain way. We don't have to
Earn it.
earn it. Love can just be given to us, and we can also give people love just for the sake of love, of a gift of love. Like
And
that's, yeah,
and that if you think you have love for somebody, but when an addiction isn't met and you want to now withdraw or punish, then it's a feedback
yeah,
to yourself going, that's not
that
love.
wasn't love. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay. And also if it's a gift, it can't be demanded.
yeah,
That's a gift. That's one of the lesson in love is you can't demand
yeah,
love or anything else
yeah,
from anybody because
yeah.
it's a
You can't
gift.
demand it. You can't expect it. You can't. I can't make you a tray of cookies and then expect you to love me for giving you
Yeah.
cookies.
Yeah. There goes another holiday giving tradition.
Yeah. And in fact,
Presents.
I if I were doing that out of love, I could make you a tray of cookies and you could dump them into the trash in front of me, and I would be totally okay with that because that was a gift and you're,
Can do whatever you want with it.
yeah.
Ugh. Okay. All kind of emotions coming up right
I
there.
know,
But
right?
I'm just thinking the cookie you made with the desire to just, I just want to give you this gift. Those are going to be mighty tasting cookies.
Yeah, you don't want to throw them out.
No, you're probably going to be like, what is it about this cookies? What did you put in here? Then when there's no demands, I have experience of like, from both ways when I like, oh, I have a demand, let's own it. No, I really just want to give a gift. I see the person having a different experience, and it's like,
Yeah,
huh, that's
yeah,
funny. Once I give it up, they actually took off with it and
yeah,
kind of, yeah. Yeah, I'm having a group later today, and then I was saying earlier that I was going to reference to a talk to prepare for the talk. It's a talk is on mediumship and how to deal with spirit influence. So I said I'm going to listen to this talk by Mary and Jesus to prepare for it, and I'm just going to do it because that's what I want to do to prepare. You do whatever, and everybody volunteered to say this is a great talk. What a great! It was like, oh.
you didn't demand that they watch it or listen to it.
And everyone took it on for
Yeah,
their own pleasure. And yeah, I learned a lesson there. That was okay. Yeah, so that's the irony is that when you break this errors you have and start to even move towards the right direction, the positive experiences kind of blows you away.
blows you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also been like a good barometer for me. I keep it. I think Mary said this, any time that I am being demanding or have an expectation on
Yeah.
somebody else, I am being unloving.
Yes.
And that has been a great compass for me of in any situation, even when I feel very justified that, whatever, my father should love me,
Hmm.
you know,
Hmm.
I'm demanding that. I expect that. I am now out of line. That's my
Yes.
problem now,
Yes.
not his. You
And
know,
and just to give encouragement to people watching that you are going to discover, oh, I have lots of demands going out of me. Accept it, embrace it. This is where you're at this point. I am at a certain pace with certain addictions. Embrace it. Take a minute with it, and then talk to God. Like, how do I get rid of it?
yeah,
Where do I go from here?
yeah,
And you'll attract the resources on like how to go through the process of getting rid of it. And somewhere in there, somewhere in the process of owning it or whatever it is, the demand is you feel the demand, but it's not coming out of you anymore.
yeah,
That's the midway I'm aiming for everything right now. Where is that sweet spot? How fast can I get there?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it's much better in my opinion to be aware of these things that are happening in ourselves, even if they're icky and they feel gross, but to be
Yeah.
aware of them so that we can deal with them.
Yeah. And then
And
when you own it versus projecting it versus denying it,
yeah,
the owning is a sweet spot. And it takes a journey to discover the difference between projecting, denying, owning.
yeah,
And what's learning is the most uncomfortable. Owning is the most uncomfortable place.
yeah.
It just like spikes inside of you. And but that's when nobody else is feeling the pain
The
coming.
damage of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, this has been packed full of very challenging information, and I feel like we can keep going in this topic for the next little bit. But it's the 23rd of December today, and happy holidays to everyone. And thanks for watching.